right, what's up, y'all? Trio gang, we are
We're
here for another
back.
episode. Throw up the three, not dudes, but the tray,
but the tray,
dress and shit.
Chrissy.
Oh my god, right. For those that don't know, I am your girl Chrissy, Fallon, Mookie. We are here for another episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, for tapping in with us every other week, maybe.
When we can get to
when we can get around this shit. I love that y'all don't hold us accountable for it, but we try to be very consistent with y'all.
But y'all don't hold us accountable. That's
oh my god,
that's hella funny.
This is as authentic as it's gonna get. But I'm gonna go right into it. I want to open up with a song that I have been banging since it dropped. Tomorrow too, Glorilla and Cardi B. I never thought I was gonna take to this record like that. I fuck with it so heavy. Like I wasn't sure about Glorilla, but I like it. And somebody even told me that I think I heard a little birdie say that Party, I think, writes for Cardi or wrote this for Cardi, if I'm not mistaken. Don't 100% quote me, but I think I can hear Party's influence in her verse. So
Party.
Have you guys heard it yet?
Meg's boyfriend?
Huh? I think so, probably Meg's boyfriend, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Don't refer to Party as Meg's boyfriend.
I heard somebody dropped like that he writes for Cardi and that
I know he wrote the song they did together, but Cardi been, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Meg been like subbing Cardi on the low, like little sneak distance. So I guess business is business, but
okay, well, I could be wrong, but I read it somewhere.
Well, that's news. Yeah, that's news.
So it could be fake. It could be fake news.
I mean, she got Offset. Like the bars wasn't that like.
It could be fake news, but I got it from Twitter. So
I got it from Twitter, from Black Twitter and shit.
I mean,
Black Twitter and shit. But I mean, really fuck with the record. If he's writing or if he's not, regardless, I fuck with it. And like I said, I didn't really think I was gonna take the Glorilla, but I really fuck with it. They was born up for sure. So that's my record. That's my record. My song of the week. My record of the week. It's been in heavy rotation for me.
Okay, I had to put it in the caption. I like Glorilla's voice.
Yeah,
like deep voice that she got. Like I think her voice is super hard. We were just talking about that. You can get into it, Chris. I know you. We had the big event over the weekend, but one of the girls on the cipher, I can't remember her.
Yoshi Vintage.
No, it wasn't Yoshi Vintage. It was another girl, and her voice was hard. Like
probably she spoke.
She was like a chocolate kind of petite kind of girl. I was like her. I said half of the battle with being an MC is your voice. That's why Snoop is the biggest rapper in the world.
Texture. Her texture is fire, and she can spit.
It.
She can spit. Yeah, I curated the artist 100%. Actually, aside of one, so Ruben Vincent was brought in. He was the last artist that was on the cipher. He was brought in by Paris. So shout out to Paris for bringing Ruben in. But I curated the artist and just wanted some versatility in there. From Ian Kelly, Ja, AJ, Yoshi, T Spokes. I think everybody delivered. Wasn't it dope though? The cipher in the VR.
Yeah, it was. It was my first virtual react. We'll tell them about the event and then we can get into it because it was definitely my first time.
Over the past weekend, I was able to, assist and be a part of Teclaimerg. This is their 5th year. This was actually a pretty big deal for me, stepping into this space with them. They brought me in actually just to moderate. I was only supposed to moderate, and I wind up producing 2 other segments, which was the cipher and the music panel. Mm-hmm. So, it was, that's my bag. So producing, curating, moderating, I absolutely love to do. I execute it very well. And anything home for me always just is very, it's a high for me. It's a high because it's like, I always said this is the Nipsey blueprint because I'm doing shit with Black people in my community. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it was really dope to be a part of the team. This is the first time I felt like I've actually worked on a real production. Not that the other ones weren't, but this was like with a real team of like 30 people, everybody in sync, team meetings every single week. It was just a lot of group participation. I didn't feel by myself. I had a lot of assistance. And I had a lot of just support during the whole process of it. So I moderated the LA Culture Influencers panel.
Kobe, who was that?
Girl, Kobe in the back.
Why Kobe getting off?
Now that he discovered his bark, girl, he will not shut up. Like, boy, you are a baby. You are barking at nothing.
He's getting off. Okay.
He's getting off. Right. And I curated the panel. I just wanted some influential people, and everybody wasn't from LA. And a lot of people were like, well, why didn't you necessarily get people that were from LA? These are just people I feel like that are influential in LA. I would have loved though to get all homegrown at home, but it's not so easy to get everybody that's from home. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, all the people don't always respond. They leave the messages on red. So they're not always accessible, but we'll get to y'all. Y'all know who y'all are, but like shots fired and shit. But anyway, yeah, so I just got some influential people that are making noise and doing great things in LA. So that's probably what that panel was based around. But overall, it was great. Lamar was lit. The stages were nice. It was just a great day. It was a great day.
Yeah, I super enjoyed it. And it's always nice to be a spectator, you know what I'm saying? Because you always throwing licks, which I always appreciate, just being able to have opportunities to perform, especially in Lamar. Like, it always hits different. It feels like I got not necessarily something to well, I just feel at home. It's just a different feeling. But being able to be a spectator and just sit and kind of soak up game, because we definitely came right on time for your panel, which was awesome. You did amazing on that. And just being able to get that game, because in any type of industry you in, whether it be in, you were talking about the people on the panel, I know it was Charmaine on the panel, who from her favorite play. And then Watson Kwan and Ali. Hey, Ali. Like, I know one of your songs. Like, but just getting that game from them and like understanding the process of whatever, and it could be whatever industry you in. We're all not creatives or artists. Sometimes we're doing other things, but it still is the same process of believe in yourself, believe in your work, trust the process. Like, a lot of the things that we hear, but it never gets old hearing and having those things reinforced, because on that journey, and as we were talking with Watson Kwan later that day, just saying, like, you got to just stay the course. Like, it is a marathon. Nip told us, he set us up for it. Like, it's not a sprint. Like, it really is experience after experience and brick by brick that really ultimately lead us to where we're, supposed to go, and celebrating the small wins. I think me and Mook, we were talking about that, like celebrating not just the big things that we're waiting on,
all the strides, the journey, everything
you know what I mean,
throughout the journey.
Yeah, because you're thinking about, we all waiting for that $1 million check to drop in the account, and at that point we feel like, okay, I made it, we've arrived, or I bought my mama a house. So that's like the big, but there's so many small wins that we can appreciate and that could keep our morale up as we continue on the journey. So I definitely benefited from listening to the panel. And then, girl, the virtual reality was crazy. It was a virtual reality. For those that don't know, it was a virtual reality cipher. So you put on the virtual reality gear, you got your hands and your controllers in your hand. And it was just really, really cool. That was the first time I ever seen that.
And it was a whole 360 experience. Once you're in the VR space, you can turn and everything just moves with you. Like, I was in the tracks and shit, trying to go all the way down the tracks.
Yeah.
I was able to go close up to the soda machine and, and really experience. I can move up and move out and then go up and down. Like, it was really trippy. And that was my first time experiencing that also.
Yeah.
And then, so it was in conjunction with like Young Guru and his, I guess one of his organizations that he works with or is a part of or is funding. So that was a big deal, to be attached to Young Guru and shit.
Okay.
The one and only Young Guru. And yeah, it was it was a cipher in a New York subway station, so you could see the rat running across at the bottom, and
yeah,
what is tea in here? But it was real. It was real. So again, shout out to Teclaimerg.
Wait, hold on, Chris. I'm so LA with it. So when the cipher started, that's when like the rats and stuff came out. But I was like, why? I was like, you can hear the birds. I was like, you can hear the birds chirping.
in the subway at that.
In the subway.
Birds, girl.
Like, why can I hear the birds? Because it's like, so, I mean, I know we're getting our subway system now, but I didn't think like, no, it's New York. It's the rats. It's gritty.
It's New York. It was a New York subway station.
I legit was like, you can hear the birds chirping, like on some
like no
girl
over there type shit.
I looked down, and then it was like rats running around. I was like, hey, they kept it true to New York subways
for sure.
That's exactly what they experienced. They don't care. They're not even tripping off that shit. Rats be running across, having rolling, shit, and they do not care.
That's the only thing about New York. I say, like, going, it's like I don't think I could ever get used to like all that trash being piled up. It's like 20 bags of trash piled up on the street. And I mean, I guess I'd rather have it in bags than have it just sprawled across the street.
Still,
or
whatever. It's just they live differently.
It's different in New York.
It's just different.
That's why so many rodents, because their sewer system or their trash system, they put the bags out, then they get picked up. I wonder if it's like daily or if it's like weekly. Like, why don't y'all have trash bins?
Like, because there's too many people.
As easy as that sounds,
it's too much. It's too many people.
I
They don't have the space.
People.
And they don't have enough space.
A trash bin, even if you leave it on the curve. Like, because if not, y'all just piling up trash. Like, that's the weirdest thing to me.
Where are the trash bins, basically? Y'all got enough money to pay for some trash bins. Where are the city councilmen?
And I hope that trash
bin. Y'all still making a trash man get out and hand pick your trash and toss it
off the silver can and shit. Right.
Why you about to keep throwing his back out? Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
God bless. God bless.
Oh, seriously.
God bless. Yeah. But before also we get like knee deep into our conversation, I do kind of want to get the elephant out the room real quick, and I do want to talk about a couple people that we lost recently. It's just, it doesn't feel right without mentioning GI, Brandon, and then recently we lost Key Riches. I didn't realize Key was so young. If I'm not mistaken, he was 23 or 24 years old. Never really worked with him, but it was, we kind of went back and forth in the DMs. He said, I would love to work with you. He was supposed to come to music and media. We wanted to get an interview in. And these are things that always just hit kind of when somebody's deceased and you're going back and reading old messages and all these things that you guys talked about possibly doing or moving forward in, and it never happens. And now they're here. It just really puts everything into reality. Like, move forward, work with people, don't wait, execute ideas, execute plans, because we just don't know when our time is up. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but GI was somebody that was really, really, special for me, for a lot of us. That was bro. I was sis, he was bro. And so just want to kind of give condolences to his family, to anybody that's affected by his loss. And yeah, it's just sad. It really is. And he'll be missed.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. Beautifully spoken. Crenshaw District, first of all, what I mean? It's too deep to get into on this show.
Yeah,
we'll spare y'all.
When you think about it, kind of just, it gets heavy, but yeah.
The intricacies of the situation. But we did lose somebody that is one of our Crenshaw family, somebody that is near and dear to us, as Nip was, in a sense, like, just because what he was able to accomplish in the music industry, coming from where we come from, was no small feat. And being able to kind of maximize and capitalize against all odds was just kind of remarkable to see, in the type of people that he was working with, the rooms that he was moving around in, and the fact that he never really tried to attach himself to Nipsey for his success. And he
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I've always said that he had his own brand.
He wasn't leaning on Nip in that way. And but Nip still showed up for him, when it was time to show up. And it's just a lot to unpack. But I definitely feel the same, Chris. Like, major shout outs. If we're feeling how we feel, and we can only imagine how his mom, his father, his family, his siblings, whatever, are feeling. And so just prayers up for them. And it is a devastating loss, and we will uphold his memory accordingly. And Key Riches, what's so crazy about that is, so my mom was on TMZ, y'all. My mom retired, and
I saw that.
My mom I had to tell my mom, I had to send Miss Faye a text today, like, girl, you kind of doing a whole lot. But she was on TMZ doing some commentary, which was really cool. And I Christian retweeted it. And only 2 people liked the retweet that you did, and he was one of them.
Oh, wow.
And so I looked, and I was like, back then, when I first saw it or whatever, I'm like, who is that? I'm like, Key Rich. I'm like, okay. He was popping. He had like the video in the car. He was smoking. He was doing like the YG and Mary J flip, like B. He was rapping to that.
He's hard.
And so I was like, okay, well, he's showing love. Thank you for showing love for me and my mama. I thought it was dope. And I'm like, okay. And I got the news too, just, going through social media, that he had passed as well. Also, PNB Rock passed in the city. We haven't gotten a chance to honor Trey. We lost as well. Not a Crenshaw native, a Carson native, which is, for those that are not from LA, like a small suburb, I guess, outside of LA, but still like section. Like, we definitely acknowledge Carson, you know what I mean? And he was the store owner. What's the store name? The online brand?
Rearview.
So
bought plenty of pieces from Rearview.
He owns that business. A lot of people didn't know that. He owned that business and was operating it. And he had really created a really great life for himself. He was never gang affiliated. He was never, he just wasn't about that. He was just always about his money. From the first time that I met him, he was just always about money, like whether that means like corporate money or whatever, like he was always about that, it seemed. So losing him was crazy also. And I guess we should just speak too of just being LA natives. And I think this is really important for us all to kind of chime in on that based on our experience. Like being LA natives, like people coming to our city now with a different point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like when we come out there, like it's, the energy weird, like, you know what I'm saying? And we eating our own. And I guess that could be applied to any area, but it's like, the biggest man in LA culture, we lay down right in front of his property.
Exactly.
So it's getting real raw out here. It's getting real crazy. The gangbanging stuff was its own thing. It's its own thing. And inside people know what's going on with that. But for just, I'm a rapper and I got to really worry about coming these places and being with my girl or, going to get something to eat or doing something like that. Or I live here and maybe, people thinking that I'm from out of town, but I really live here and they see me, dressed or whatever. And I'm not saying that's what happened in that situation, but y'all know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know what to say about it.
Having to move accordingly.
What should be the protocol? What are we missing and what is happening right now in the air? Because it's everywhere.
You know what? I don't even have an answer for you for that. Like my personal views, because I'm trying to figure out the same thing. It's been trauma after trauma after trauma. It's like a domino effect of one thing happens, then it rolls into another, and then but you got to remember too, it started with what's his name? Pop Smoke.
Yeah.
And it could go back. I mean, of course, shit, if you want to really go back into history, Pac and Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
rappers for some reason come to LA and lose their lives. Like, it's just, you just don't, you hear about it more here. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck is going on with us? To the fact that I don't know. And I was reading or listening to a lot of people have commented on everything. Like, well, y'all need to check in. I'm like, check in with who though? Like, who are y'all checking? Like, checking in with who? Like, don't come to LA without checking in with the big homies and checking in. I'm like, so everybody that comes here needs to check in with somebody so they can know how to move and they can know where to go. But that's kind of a fucked up way to live and to be out here if you visiting. Like, a lot of artists come out here for shows, you know what I'm saying? And want to be on the scene. And I just kind of feel like it's kind of fucked up in the sense, everybody's like, well, why was he going back to PNP? Why was he over there? But he didn't know. I don't think he knew better to be off of Central or wherever that Roscoe's is over here. Maine, yeah. I don't think he knew better. I think he probably just, and somebody made a good point. Maybe his girl just typed in Roscoe and the nearest one popped up and that was that one. I don't know. Like, I don't know why I don't have an answer why he went to that one in particular. But yeah, like, y'all was a little too flashy. You got to know where you are. You know what I mean? Like, that parking lot is small. Niggas probably seen y'all pull up in that car. A couple of calls probably were made and something happened. Who knows? But, and I know there's a lot of stories out there, but it's just, I don't know, according to socials, it's, check in when you get here, so I don't know.
I think LA is just one of those major cities that you have to come to, right? So I think we get a little more fatalities because when you think about making it, where do you go? You think about LA, you think about New York. And unfortunately, LA is just one of the cities that most entertainers have to set up shop in. So more than likely, the odds is bigger that something happening to you in LA versus Houston or Atlanta or wherever else, because ultimately you have to come to LA. There's no way for you to make it where you want to by bypassing LA. It's just not going to happen. It's a lot of business out here. And unfortunately, that causes a lot more traffic to come here, I believe. Like, we can even look at the BET Cyphers. The Hip Hop Awards is in Atlanta, but they filmed the Cypher in LA, right?
Mm-hmm. They did.
Have to pass through LA. I do feel like the number of artists fatalities are increasing because I can only recall 2 growing up. Now, like, I feel like we have, what's his name? Triple X, what was his name?
XXX.
Yes, we have him all the way on down. And I feel like every time we turn around, like, a new young artist is losing their life. And I don't know if social media is playing such a role. I don't want to put it all on, oh, you posted your location. Like, I don't want to reduce it to that, but it's just unfortunate. And I don't know if it's something that will ever stop. Like, long as people don't have any money, I think fatalities will always be up. People need it. They want it. They hungry out here. Like, everything is up. Everything is going up but money. Nobody's getting raises, like nobody's working. So
there's no resources for anybody. It's a 1,000+ people.
I mean, you got the same people, even aside from that, because that's like the corporate world that you speaking of. Even the people who was up a couple 100,000 just 12 months ago, when EDD and PPP was popping, those same pockets that was up are now not. They're not. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think they're just resulting to what they know. As far as PNB Rock, like, that still surprised me. I mean, anything can happen anywhere, but it was like, why there? Even when you pulled up, you could have been like, nah, this ain't it.
Right. I mean, like, they open for business the very next day.
I mean, he's from Philly, so it's like, you should know. You know what I mean? Like, you should know something when you see it. So, I mean, and I don't want to put that onus all on his girl, because I know she's probably like, that's something traumatic she has to live together. Yeah. And she had to witness that. You know what I mean? Just hearing about the loss of someone is hurtful, let alone being front row to it. Like, I couldn't imagine what that feels like. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know what we can do about that. And as far as the checking in, that's just a friendly extortion. So that's not my
there's no, what's happening is, in my opinion, through having conversations with people that, have been street people or are street people or whatever, is, there is no hierarchy and order anymore as far as it goes with the streets, right? So there was a point in time where you may want to come in and check with somebody out of respect, yes. So also for your own safety. If we go to Ghana tomorrow, we need a guide. Okay.
Yeah.
Start going in a book and be like, oh, Ghana looks so beautiful. Look at all these beautiful places. We about to go to Ghana and we about to go here. We about to do. No, we need to know somebody. We need to be with a group that has been there before. You know what I'm saying? So
you need to know your bearings.
Yeah. When you're coming into foreign territory, understand that Hollywood is a different subsection. It's a very small subsection, and most of the celebrities that come to LA that work actively in the industry, whether it be film and entertainment, obviously in different industries and music and stuff, they live in the Valley. They don't live in Los Angeles, in the sub-cities of Los Angeles. So,
and that's where people get very confused. Like, Hollywood and LA, all that shit that way is completely different territory.
Yeah. So if you don't have somebody to accompany you to these types of things, and not to say that that's going to be fail-proof either, but if you don't have a tour guide, okay, to be with you and to assist you on your journeys, and you making sure that you're checking in with the right people, because you also could be dealing with people that are marked. Don't rely on Instagram. Yeah. Like, oh, they from LA, they cool people or whatever. Check their pedigree, their background, and their files, and make sure that they 100, because they may not be good in every hood or in their section even. And if they could kill the king of LA in front of his own establishment,
nobody's safe.
Nobody is safe, baby. This is not what you think it is. And it doesn't really get publicized. Y'all seen Minister Society, they seen Boys in the Hood, but that was a long time ago, and it was more active, or it seemed more active then, or maybe it's more active now, I don't know, but it hasn't stopped is what I'm saying. And we're not proud of that, but for everyone to be aware when coming to visit here, you need to know somebody, find somebody, and it's okay to admit that I don't have to be in LA. Go to the Valley. Go to Hollywood, go to the Valley, go to Burbank, go to Sherman Oaks, go to Woodland Hills, go to Calabasas, where everyone else is at. And it's not really nothing cracking out here. We don't hear a lot of those stories out here. But if you're talking about coming on Main, Crenshaw Boulevard, Inglewood, any of those types of things, you need to make sure you have someone with you.
And even if they go to the Valley, like, they still got the Valley Boys, they still got stuff out there.
Oh, it's cracking everywhere.
Be clear, like, you have to go further out to Calabasas,
yeah,
back in the Valley. However, I feel that way for people who just want to move to LA because they want, a different life path, or they want to follow whatever other dreams that they have. Like, I see it all day where people are packing up and moving to LA, and I'm like, do you even know where you're going? Do you even know you guys are taking these little virtual tours, putting deposits down on apartments and moving out here and having a rude awakening? Yeah. Then at the same time, you got people saying, oh, LA born. I saw that today.
I did too.
LA's born. It's either a Hollywood house party or whatever.
The girl tweeted that artist was like, what advice can y'all give her? I want to be like, bitch.
Like, I mean, but we've had this conversation before, and at the end of the day, LA, what we consider fun is different than what y'all see. Y'all move out, people move out here for the glitz and glamour of what they think LA is. Yeah. When they come here, it's totally different. It's totally different. You know what I mean? So just even for their safety, I wish like there was a forum where everyday people could check in with people from LA, not the pay check in, but hey, I'm thinking about moving here. I saw an apartment in this area. Is it cool?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Because people are so thirsty, and we live in an era where it's like, be careful because people crazy. But I wish there was such a form that existed, just because the average person needs to be safe out here. You know, I lost a coworker this week, and his son is out here from New York. And I told him like, hey, you know, if you need advice on where to go, let me know. You know, like, of course, I can't provide no protection for him, but if he wants to go out to eat and Google something, I want to say, yeah, that's not a cool spot. Or
I wouldn't do it.
You know what I mean? Because he's not from out here, never been out here, only came out here to get his dad body and go. You know, so
that's terrible.
It just needs to be a little bit. I think everybody needs to be safe at this point, not just the artists. They're just the target, but just for the person who just trying to exist out here, the person who write music and just want to make it, you know. But
rest in peace to all of those people we mentioned. Major rest in peace, if that even makes sense, for GI for sure. And we gonna hold it down. We gonna keep doing what we've been doing.
Yeah, so crazy. Just that was just crazy. I mean, death always remind you to live a little bit.
Yes.
It has its way of just kind of putting you back on course, and not to make it about you know, because I seem selfish in a sense, but when you think about the fact that death is so final and that's it has a way of reminding you of what's important. That's you know, right. And even the small, what I'm dealing with, just even in my workspace, like having to walk past, you know, someone's car or their belongings, like you have all this stuff and none of it is going with you. None of it. You know what I mean? The only thing you're going to go with you is whatever your family purchased for you. Like, that's it. It just has a way of prioritizing just what's important at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well said. And really letting go, like whatever. I know we go through a lot of stuff, and I think what I've kind of learned within the last week is just like, you know, I feel like I'm still on my healing journey, and whoever I felt like might have hurt me or whatever grudge I was holding on to from people or someone, like let it go. Like, just let it go, you know, and just find it in your heart to forgive. And God forgives us. And who am I to like hold that, you know, in any type of hatred or just like ill will towards anybody, you know, like
who cares at the end of the day? Like, I mean, who, you know what I mean? What is it really doing either way? You know what I'm saying?
It's not even worth it. Yeah. Let it go and move on with your life. Don't hold on to nothing.
Speaking of moving on with your life, we don't want to stay down too long, but I got some hot takes. It's some relationship hot takes, some stuff going on in the virtual world that we are been made privy to. So I want to make sure I pronounce his name right. So is it Ime Udoka?
Girl, who?
Ime Udoka, who is the fiance of beautiful, iconic Black actress Lamar. And Ime, her fiance, is the head coach of the Boston Celtics, and it just got revealed last week that he was having a affair. I mean, I guess it'd be considered an affair. They're not married yet, but he had some type of liaison, some type of dealings with somebody from the Boston Celtics staff, and outed. It came to the surface. I guess they did some investigation on it, and he has now been suspended, I believe, for the rest of the 22-23 NBA season as a result of his infidelity. So I think this is a great talking point, a great point of conversation, because first of all, Black Twitter went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Baby, they were saying everything and anything about, you did that to Nia Long. I got my own thoughts about that, but I'm sure y'all have y'all's too. But y'all did that to Nia Long, and Nia Long, how y'all gonna do that? That's Nia Long, and blah blah blah. You know, all those things.
Beyonce got cheated on. Okay, like let's
Beyonce has another story, but
right. Well, yeah, we can get into it, but I'm just saying, you know, that was the overall sentiment, especially considering the fact that Ime is not somebody that's like a R&B superstar or a rap star or a big actor or something like that. So no one is necessarily going to come to his defense. One, because he looks like he's in the wrong, and then two, because Nia Long is our beloved, like, you know, 90s actress that we all, you know,
love it, yes.
So y'all can tell me your thoughts on it. You know, they've been together since 2010, I believe. So it's been a very long 10-year relationship. Lord knows I can relate. Okay. So it's been
12 years. 12 years.
12 years.
12 years and one son together.
Okay, so and
wow.
I mean, so a lot of time spent. They've been engaged for quite some time. Nia at one point said she never even wanted to be married. Maybe that shifted once she got with him, and you know they had their life planned out of how they wanted.
Add a little bit more to the story.
Okay,
Staffer was in charge of travel, right? Well, one of the roles, I'm gonna say. She was in charge of travel. Whenever the team have to go here to there, that's what she does. She was also...
Is this the woman he had the affair with?
Yes.
What's her name?
Who cares? That's her name. Now they're not gonna release it for her protection, but whatever. So up till now, we know that she was over travel. She booked all, the traveling gigs. She even helped with the travel arrangements, moving Nia to Boston, which took place about a week ago. So they were in constant communication with one another. Whenever Nia wanted to go to some of the away games, she, she corresponded all those things. So it's kind of fucked up. Well, it is pretty fucked up, and this goes back to our conversation. Remember, we was like, if you cheat respectfully. This is completely disrespect. There's no way to respectfully cheat, but if we just have to kind of give it a little new
kind of boundaries,
this would be it. Like, damn, you cheating. Like, so this bitch is helping me move into my place, and she was just sucking your dick. Like, this is crazy.
Oh my god.
So, right. So in that sense, it's weird. Two, she got caught on the ring cam because she herself is married, and her husband overheard a conversation. So it was consensual, but when the relationship ended, she was harassed, and I'm assuming because, oh boy, like, what's up? He probably was,
into it,
trying to end so much the relationship, and then now all of a sudden, so they say allegedly that there was other women who like he made unwanted advances. So I guess now like someone, well, I don't know, because it's just in today's language, like what is an unwanted advance exactly? If somebody say, hey, can I take you out? Is that an unwanted advance, or they just asking if they could take me out? Like it's just interesting nowadays, because anything that make you feel uncomfortable is an unwanted advance, But nonetheless, that's just a little bit more context to the story. Of course, that's Nia Long. They've been together for 12 years, but how he see her, how we see her is totally different. He's with her every fucking day. I don't know the nature of their relationship. I don't know the status. I don't know anything, the arrangement that they have within their own shit. But from what I could see, it looks shady. It looks messy. It's like you let your shit spill over here.
Yes.
It's a public figure too.
How embarrassing.
And it must be
big. Fucking embarrassing.
He took the Celtics all the way to the championship, and they don't give a fuck about no infidelity, but they acted on something that's like bigger than what we knew. But far as the relationship piece, I think it's just shitty. I think it's messy. And I would be way more upset at the messiness of it than like the cheating of it. Like, I could have handled the back end, but on the front end, you got me out here looking crazy. Yeah. And she's still through Hollywood, so she's gonna put out a statement, and that's it.
Yeah. Chris, how do you feel about it?
I mean, you know what? I think Janice hit all the points.
You know what? That's hilarious.
I know she did, and I feel like, and I hate to say it like this, but just because she's Nia Long doesn't exempt her from being cheated on. I hate when people kind of say that. Well, she's so and so, and she's so and so. We love Nia. We're gonna protect Nia by all means, but we really don't know what's going on internally. We don't live in a house. We don't live in a house. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We don't know how unhappy he is or she is or whatever. It's a lot of shit that we see on the surface that they put on for cameras, but we don't know what's going on in their household. And that doesn't mean that we want to hear about Nia Long getting cheated on by her fiance or her husband or whoever. to this at this capacity at that. Like, it's public. Everybody knows. Everybody's in our business. I'm fucking embarrassed. You embarrassed me. Like, this situation, I don't think it gets any worse than this. Like, this is top tier embarrassment.
It don't get any worse than this.
This is top tier embarrassment. Like, it's top tier, and the whole fucking globe knows. You know, like
Janine said, like, also because you fucking up the money. I mean, I guess he's still gonna get paid, but the optics of it all, like Mook is saying, well, like both of y'all saying or whatever, it's the optics of the whole thing. But I think what's more interesting is that psychologically, human behavior shows us that infidelity is one of the biggest issues between partners. A lot of people will say that it's finances, which I do believe that's the case for some, especially the higher you go up in your finances, because it's kind of like, okay, we divorce, how we about to split this shit up, this, that, and the third. And then if you super broke, we figuring out how to get these bills paid. So finances can definitely be a thing, but infidelity is something that really throws us off course. And I think we have to start asking ourselves, what is it within the cheating that makes us so unnerved, uncomfortable, and thrown off track? And this is considering that you've been with somebody for however long that they've been together. And, you know, this is something that's come up in their relationship. Yes, it's the how. I think that we have issues with the how, but we also have just issues with the it. We also have issues with the acknowledgement of desire within our partners for other people and companionship. That throws us off also. And that's a natural human behavior. When we see other men, if we're in a relationship or whatever that's handsome, we're not going to not see him because we're in a relationship. If a man sees a woman, it goes without saying, right? So it's like, these are natural human instincts. And yes, we have to exercise discipline and all of those things. But what is it that really throws us off? Because when we start talking about infidelity and scandal, of course, everybody projecting all in the shade room comments. Oh my God, girl, and she better leave him. She been with him all this time. And woo, woo, woo. Like, girl, why would I leave my man, the head of the Boston Celtics? Y'all want me to leave my man. Why are y'all telling me to leave my man? Why are y'all encouraging me to leave my dude? Like, you know, have you left yours? Do you are anybody? You know,
are you following the blueprint?
Like, what's really going on with that? So I don't know. I think we need to start addressing too, like, why is that such a big thing? Was it really worth him? I mean, I guess for the sake of the it being messy at work, so maybe that's why they did that. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like we got to start asking that question. Why is that such a deal breaker for most people?
Honestly, this isn't too far off the conversation, but I don't think deal breakers really exist. I'll tell you why.
Yes.
I feel like people are willing to deal with whatever from who it is that they want. Deal breakers only, it's a deal breaker if you're really not that into that person. Like, I don't like, they does. But when you are into somebody, when you want them, you will work with whatever's in that space.
That's a fact.
And I feel like even when it comes to men, like, I had this thought, like, you cannot motivate, support, encourage, cook, clean your way into a man's heart. I don't mean the obvious, he don't want you. I mean, just in general, like, if he's not feeling you to that degree, it doesn't matter what you do, y'all would never cross that threshold of really locking in solid with one another.
Right.
However, to go back to that, I don't really think infidelity is a deal breaker. I think social media has created it where they cheat, you leave. It's like, so there's no conflict resolution skills. There's no way to work through anything because there's no perfect no one. You know what I mean? Cheating hurt. You know what I mean? It does. Like, if you've ever been cheated on, you internalize it because it's like, damn, well, what am I not doing when I think it really has nothing to 100% do with you?
Yeah.
I really think it's just the other person and their own shit. I think when it comes down to cheating, it depends on the relationship where I think my decision to stay or go may come in, because emotional relationships, a non-sexual but emotional relationship may hurt a lot more than a nigga hitting it from the back for 10 minutes before he came to the house.
Yeah. Like inside jokes and shit with the bitch, like, excuse me, like, you got your own lingo and shit, like, out of here.
Like, inside jokes, she following up on shit that your girl forgot about, like, and your girl know.
It's a different level of intimacy.
Yeah,
with intimacy is not always having sex, but it's sometimes just a connection.
And I think it's the deception. If I did have to call upon something that's the most unsettling in that regard is the deception. And really, I think it was on Cam Newton's podcast. He has a podcast, and B. Simone and her host Megan, they were on there. They were talking about infidelity. And they were just talking about like it's the deception, but it's also oh God, I forgot my thought. I didn't even smoke today. I do that all the time.
I was on roll. Come on,
but it was a really good conversation
on my TikTok with that.
Yeah, it was a conversation just about like the deception of it all. Oh, and I think this is what they were saying. Men lie about it because you feel like it's wrong too. You feel like there's something wrong with what it is that you're doing. Whether it be in the way that you're doing it, whether it be the premise and why, or whatever the case may be, you feel shame in what you're doing, because if you didn't, look, this is where I'm at. And not to say that it would be easy, because of course it's not easy. You don't know how that person's going to react, come out the bag on you. If you got children, family, other things lined up with it, a lot could come with that. However, in your ownness as a man, at this age, especially talking about grown men, we ain't 17 no more. You talking about grown ass men, you got bills coming to your house, and you talking about you want to lie to me? You gonna let me punk you out of your own conviction as a man for what it is that you want to do? I don't feel like it makes sense. So I think that's one of the biggest issues too, is just the deception behind it. Like, why you know what I mean? Have the conversation. Like, why are you scared to have the conversation?
In addition to that, it's the gaslighting of it all. When you bring it up, when you feel that it's wrong, and you're getting told, no, that's not it. You're getting told like, damn, so you're gonna let me feel like I'm crazy.
Like I'm crazy.
You're gonna make me feel like I'm crazy. You're gonna make me feel like I'm tripping, I'm bugging, when I'm 100% facts. Like, this should not adding up, and you say here, and I'm coming to you to
make me feel like I'm stupid.
Not even that I'm accusing you, because when you try to communicate first and that don't work, and that feeling is not settled, that's when let me look through your shit, because I need to get
I need to know, and I know that I know. Yeah,
I know that I know, right? And because men have set up this whole, you have to prove it. Your word should be enough, but now I gotta prove to you that you doing the bullshit that you're doing.
Why do we have to go? But see, that's what she was saying is, y'all are ashamed. If you're not ashamed, then why is it taking so much? So I think as people, I don't think that it is abnormal for us to have attractions to the opposite sex. I don't think that it is abnormal for us to have desires to be with more than one person. We do not all have to live in a monogamous world. You know what I'm saying? It's all a conversation and an arrangement between me and my partner. You know what I'm saying? And
arrangements.
Whatever the arrangement is, whatever but let's make it a partnership. And that's what it is. A lot of times men want it to be
and really have the conversation, have the uncomfortable conversation in the household.
They want to be the dictator instead of the partner. Yeah. And it's like, you know, we're on even ground. You provide something different, and so do I, but we're still here.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this then. So if it was discussed, I guess this is all about what you guys will tolerate and what you will deal with in your relationships. Because what if your dude did come to you and said, is it still considered cheating if you know about it?
Like in what way? Like, give me an
example. If your dude came to you and be like, there's a girl I want to fuck. This chick I'm kind of feeling. I'm sexually attracted to her and I want to have sex to her.
Yeah.
But he's coming to you though. So he's not going behind your back. He's not doing it. He's coming up to you up front and being like, I really want to kick it with this girl and have sex with her. Is that okay?
Have y'all remember Girls Trip, right? And one of the plots of the movies was the fact that it was a couple, but parading around like America's favorite couple, but they really wasn't even together for real.
I think so.
Regina Hall. Yes, because by the end, she ended up like her audience ended up being single women because the blogs had reported that her boyfriend was with some other chick, and her friends had told her.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
And then when she talked to him, it was like, I told you, stop, don't be so fucking messy, because they had their own little
arrangement.
And it's like, don't let our shit spill out. You know what I mean? So I think it just depends. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the fuck I will say until it reached my door, because I've settled and did some things that in retrospect, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it again, but I did it. So who's to say? I don't know. It depends how it's presented to me, you know, like, so I don't want to sit up here and say, I'll never do that, because that's the easy answer to say. I might allow it under my conditions. Like,
be open to the possibility of like it going down.
Like, okay, well, she doesn't get anything special. I would want to know, like, well, what do you want to do? Just have sex? You trying to make this your other girlfriend? Like, I'll probably have some of my own terms and conditions, but I don't know either, because it may happen anyway.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And that's it right there. Like,
regardless if you approve of it or not.
Because we can't say that, oh, talk to us. And when they do, we like, you know what I'm saying? And we rattling off because now, okay, now you're on the hook. And now you got to start asking yourself, why are you insecure? Why does that bother you? The fact that I have sexual attraction to another woman, I found another woman sexually attractive, and I may be interested in exploring that, and I want to communicate that to you because you are my partner. How do you feel about that? And I can't handle that. What kind of relationship is it that you want? And a lot of women say that they want that kind of relationship, but they're not built for it. So they'll be okay with the lie. They want to be pacified with the lies because it makes them more comfortable. They don't have to challenge their own ego in those instances. So for me, it's where are we in our relationship? I'm kind of like, if you live a certain lifestyle and you have certain things in order, I'm all about doing things in good order. And a lot of men want to men be talking about all these polygamous situations and, scenarios. And your life is not together, baby.
Yeah.
Your life is not together. It's not, we shouldn't be piecemealing money together to go get something to eat. We shouldn't be, figuring out how this bill is going to get paid. I maybe shouldn't even be working.
It takes points to play in this field.
Yeah, and that's not and that's not necessarily like, oh, Puff Daddy level, you know what I'm saying? But we need to be able to take care of our basic responsibilities and then some, you know what I'm saying? Before we even start thinking about exploring outside of this relationship and outside of monetarily, are we solid? Like Mookie was saying, are we on a strong foundation? If we have things to unpack that we still need to work our way through, we shouldn't be letting anybody else enter into our relationship. The only point in time somebody should be open to that in any way, shape, or form, I think, is if you are solid. If you're not solid, then no. It's not. It's a no. If we're not solid, no. Why would you? And like I always say, maybe not tit for tat. So maybe if I come to you 2 years from now and I want to have the same conversation, can we have it?
Mm-hmm.
I like this guy. He was great. I may not even want to have sex with him. He wants to take me out on a date. We have common interests and
no, it's not happening, but okay.
But you could smash and I don't understand. Like,
yeah, but no. I 100% hear you, but no, it's not.
So if dudes that say like, oh well, no, you can't
ain't no nigga allowing his girl to go off and fuck no other nigga, period. I don't care how much.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
No nigga ain't flying. No.
I disagree because that goes back to me saying you're gonna tolerate something from who you want, and that goes for men too. We're prone to think that if you do XYZ, niggas is cutthroat. No, they not.
They really not.
They not. No, they not.
Well, maybe it takes a different level, and maybe it's tiers to this shit. Because I don't think no average.
They try to scare you into that.
Thank you, because now I don't believe that. I don't believe that because if she cheats, I'm never going back. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Because you're a human.
Yes, you are. That goes back to my deal breaker. Like, please, you can do everything, and a nigga will take the bare minimum from somebody they want. Include cheating, whatever infidelity that may come with this person. If they want that bitch, they gonna deal with what comes with her the same way we do. I think they just try to scare you into the you better not so that you stay in pocket. Meanwhile, they running amok. I made a post. Do you, sis? The rules are fake.
That's a fact. Wake up. Everybody want to talk about stay woke. No, for real. Stay woke. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fake, so do you.
Well, I can say I kind of was in a situation kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like when I was the one that kind of stepped out, I would say, out of the relationship and did something, and he was like, okay, I guess he tried to make it work. He wanted to be with me. He deep down inside wanted to be with me and wanted to make it work, but I don't think he could handle the fact that I really went out and I had feelings for somebody else.
Yeah, and it's the way that yours was presented, honey. You made it clear.
Honey.
It wasn't just I stepped out and it actually was presented like.
And that's something I'm working on. That's just I'm at a point in my life where I guess I'm just saying what it is.
I'm at a point in my life. Right. Well, it's the communication piece, and it's kind of like,
and maybe I didn't communicate that the right way, and I did, and I took that on the chin. And I owned up to that. You know what I mean? That was not the right way to do that, especially with somebody that you fuck with.
But it's also his communication too, to be able to say, "Hey, yo, like that fucked me up. I didn't like that hurt me. I don't." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like how you handled that, but not in a tone of, you know, I'm accusing you, you bad, shame on you, condemn you, because now I'm projecting, but like, that hurt me.
Well, let's
for me, both of those happened. Like
and they did
you and you hurt me.
Yeah. So I think like knowing when to let go is important too. And I think that gets overlooked. We always talk about the why something happened or what would you do, but like, how do you move on? Because I always say the breakup stages is mimic the grief stages in a sense,
that's
you know?
correct. Yeah, that's right.
That shit is the same, honey.
To let go, because you can want to forgive, you can have that conversation, but if it's never settled just within you, I think then you should just let go. Yeah. Instead of trying to drag that shit out, or instead of trying to look for like you get back, because now it's I'm gonna get my lick back and all that dumb shit. Yeah. I just feel like what are your steps to just moving on? Because they will say stay busy, but when the busy run out, then what?
You gotta process it. You got to process it. That's an unpopular opinion. There's no easy way around it. If we want to achieve something in life, it's no easy way around the grind. You got to sit with it, and it feels nasty, and you're sad, and you're crying, but it don't last forever. We'll be surprised how quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the grief hits you at different paces. I might be good for 2 months and have a bad day or two, and you have your bad day. You allow that to happen, and you allow yourself to feel however you feel. You come out of it, and you keep moving. But
I agree.
I don't know. One last story before we get out of here. That threw me off. It was another kind of relationship scenario, but NELE Chopper, y'all know who that is? Because he's one of the young boys. Y'all might not know who that is.
Yeah, no, I do. I met him at Revolt last year.
Okay, super handsome young man. I think he's so adorable, and he's vegan, and he's super spiritual. And
here's the thing: when you meet him in person, it's a complete. I don't say it's a facade, but he's just you're like
he's a different person. Yeah.
Oh my God, completely opposite of what's portrayed as as an art. As an
right.
artist.
Yeah.
So, some of his videos talking about his vegan smoothies and stuff, he come across way different, you know.
Yeah, no, he's very intelligent, and he probably is very smart, more than what he leads on, again, like in his artistry and stuff too. But he had a longtime girlfriend. I don't know the girlfriend's name, so don't quote me. Y'all can drop it in the comments if y'all know. No shade to her. But she's not like an industry or anything. I really think that she was just a part of this man's life on his journey and what have you. They were together for 12 months, which she definitely made, to seem like it was very, very, very long time. But in her mind, maybe in industry terms, it was to be together for 12 months. The issue that I had with it is their breakup was public, obviously, because he's a public figure. But what she did was she went to the social medias and she was boo-hoo crying over the fact that she had been left. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm seeking therapy right now. I'm trying to figure out what my next move is going to be. I thought we were going to get married. When you love somebody, I love so hard. I give so much, and, I was only dealing with him during the time we was together. That was my one and only. And she kept having to clarify, like, when we was together, like, girl, was it not your one and only, girl, but one and done. Okay. So she made sure to make mention of that. But my issue was this. Y'all can let me know how y'all feel about it. I feel like we need more tutelage for the youth. And what I would say to baby girl is, because I think she is older than him, because he's only
I think he's 19 and they said she was 30, right?
Yeah. So baby, 30, and everybody's 30 ain't the same 30. Right? So age is just a number too. But I think at a certain point in time during your age, you got to know the rules of engagement, baby. And what you don't do is you're not about to go on social media in front of people boo-hooing about some man breaking up with you. It's not happening. At all. I could be in the corner, balled up girl. Oh my God. Like, you're not going to see it.
I'm not turning on the phone.
You'll never see
myself doing it.
And she got a public, maybe she has a following now as a result of being with him. So she felt like, I'm going to engage with my fans just to update them and let them know. Maybe she felt like she owed them something, but it seemed more like a cry for help. Like she was looking for his sympathy. Cause I just don't see any man looking at that and feeling like, oh, my poor baby. They don't even have that maternal instinct the way that we would if we see a woman crying like, oh, baby, come here. I'm so sorry. A dude gonna be like, oh, it's too much. That's probably why.
But didn't he say something too about the fact that, and not like, don't quote me exactly, but I think he even had a response like, I told her what the deal was and she just wasn't with the program or something like that.
Because he said that he wasn't ready to, he released a tweet that he was not ready to be in a monogamous relationship. He's a young man or whatever. He was he did it the right way, exactly what we was just talking about. He communicated, I'm not ready. at this time. This is my honest truth. I have to live in it. I hope you can respect that. And she kind of just lost her shit. So I was just trying to get y'all opinion because I just feel like I'm not crying publicly. I don't feel like young ladies, y'all should be crying publicly over no man. Period.
I don't have an opinion about it. I feel exactly that. It's just that I'm not turning on the camera to cry about. I'm just not. I don't even have an opinion about it because that shit is just ridiculous. Like you how old? Like
I can't get with it. I don't understand it.
And all that social media shit. It's just y'all putting way too much on here. Y'all putting way too much on here. I don't know, looking for the validation, for the attention, like you said, the cry for help. I don't know what it is, but it's way too much on here. Like nobody even should have seen that.
I think it's too much. You know, I don't believe in that type of crying. It's one thing if she was on live with somebody or if she was in a situation where she was interviewed and, you know, she kind of got a little teary-eyed, but it's like you were crying, picked up your phone and pressed record or pressed, you know.
It was very intentional.
Yeah, you know, so for me, it was just like, what was your intention behind that? What was your argument? Do you feel like you don't care enough? Like, what was it that made you take that step, you know, to do that? Because it looked, I didn't really feel sad about it. Like, it was just like, girl, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing
that?
Why
are you being vulnerable to this many people? It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm like, who are your friends? Like, call them with this. It was to get him to notice. Like, I'm upset. You're not noticing. You're not giving me
any attention.
Right. So I'm going to.
He probably just moved on. Like, okay,
apply pressure because then his phone is going to. You saw this. What y'all doing? Y'all beefing. Y'all to make him hit her. Like, damn, what the fuck? It's almost like when the mistress or the side boo get in contact with the girlfriend/wife. You're only doing that because oh boy probably not giving you no answers, and you know girlfriend gonna make, you know,
react.
My phone, and then he gonna try and check you because he's not communicating with you. So it's like I'm gonna try to blow up the spot.
Right.
Same thing. Of course, it's different. My point is, it's both attention seeking at that.
It's attention seeking, but that's the game that we're trying to give, not only just for her, but for the young ladies, our young listeners. Like, that's not the game, baby. You got to keep it player at all times. I don't care what's going on, baby. You always keep
even when that shit hurt, you got to do it. I'm a late bloomer to that part of the game. Like, if you don't want to do it, do that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was always trying to rectify, fix, communicate. If you call, okay, I'm gonna answer with an attitude. And like me and Fat was talking the other day, like sometimes you just gotta let that shit go to voicemail for several days at a time and call it a day. Like, you know, I may have to take a little further. Like, if y'all have to delete all the numbers out your phone to keep you from calling if you got to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just don't do it. I mean, and it's not to not say don't feel devastated from the loss of your relationship. They think that they were in a happy, you know, partnership, and he repped her. He had her. He always would talk about her and speak highly of her. With, you know, but it's just the crying, baby. Don't go to the social medias and be crying in front of people. People don't deserve that type of vulnerability from you. Like Mookie said, like, talk to your friends, talk to your family.
Mm-hmm. Also, people who care, because everybody else is gonna make a joke out of it. They're gonna make a mockery out of it, and if he is fucking with somebody else,
exactly what it is right now. Some mockery.
And like,
he's not gonna feel sorry for you. It's not like he's gonna be like, oh, my poor baby. Men don't work like that. That's a maternal thing. We want to care and nurture. That's eternal.
If he's talking to somebody else, her and her friends are sitting down in a group chat. You see this shit? Yeah. You know, the confirmation. Then you think he really left her? Yeah, look, it's really over. You know what I'm saying? Like, never give nobody that one up. Whoever he is, don't give him that one up. Like, take that shit on the chin.
Do we have any viewer questions this evening?
We do not, viewers, please. Please. I don't. Okay. I'm actually. I'm not recording at my usual place. Yeah. So I'm prepared. But you guys, inbox us any questions you have. Nothing is off limits, and you can always remain anonymous.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right, y'all. Well, you know, we out here, we in here, we doing our thing. You know, great show, guys. Great combo, ladies.
Right. And again, thank y'all for always tapping in with us. Trio Pod _.
We're not gonna well, it's in the description box. Y'all will see it.
Okay, yeah, I be forgetting this shit, but right. Don't quote me. Just find the Trio Pod. We on IG, we on YouTube. Please subscribe, comment, like, tell a friend. You fuck with us, you know, DM, we respond.
Do we?
That's it. All right, y'all. Peace. We out. Till next time.